Every builder I talk to wants to use AI, but just doesn't know where to start. Then they finally grow the balls to dive in. They jump on ChatGPT, they use it to draft some emails, and then realize, oh, it's not as good as I thought. It's the biggest mistake every builder makes. AI isn't here to draft your emails. It's not here to do all that work for you. Before you look at getting any form of AI into your business, you need to have these 3 things in line to make sure that it works. I'm going to link our page below. We also run a free school group where I'll hop on, answer people's questions, show them things they could be doing in their business. You see, the problem isn't AI. The problem is you can't plug AI into your brain yet. But for now, you can plug it into your systems. You can connect it to different softwares you might be using and have them communicate with each other. And that's what we're going to show you today. Most builders think that AI is not going to disrupt what we do or what you do specifically, right? You think it's going to disrupt the tech world. You think it's going to disrupt other people, but it's never going to be able to build a house, right? It's never going to be able to go on site. And that's what we keep saying. But what you don't understand is the way it's going to disrupt it. It's going to be very different. The same way computers changed how you build, right? The same way software changed how you build, using takeoff software as opposed to printing out the plans and getting a ruler and making sure that it's all to scale and you've done it properly. It's going to change how you do what you do. And AI in and of itself is one thing. It's a multiplier, okay? AI allows you to do what you used to do in a third of the time, or do the thing that you couldn't previously do because you didn't have the capacity to be able to. Something that might have taken you 30 hours can now take you 5, or something that you didn't quite have the, knowledge or intelligence to be able to do, you can now do following a set of instructions using AI. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 things you need to be using in your business to ensure that you can get the most out of AI. And if you don't use these 3 things properly, AI is not going to do what you need it to do, and you're going to be wasting your time. Everyone we speak to tends to treat AI like it's going to be this magical thing that's going to do everything end to end. And when it doesn't do the whole estimate, people are like, oh, it's not that good. Or the best one I've had was I showed someone how it sent an SMS to someone and their response was, I could have did that quicker. And I was like, that's not the point. The point is this could do it automatically without you having to take any time to do it. Even though the thing took 7 minutes and you might have taken 4, if you didn't lose 4 minutes and it took 7 minutes, you gain back 4 minutes. Don't get it twisted. You're going to understand the game here. These are the 3 things you need before you implement any form of AI in your business. Okay. The first one is you need a documented process. I want you to think about it like this. Your work broken down into a simple step-by-step instruction so that no matter who came and did the work, you would achieve the same result. Okay, that's the simplest explanation of what a process is. You need to have this documented and you need to have it sitting on some kind of cloud storage, right? I want you to start thinking of all this information as the knowledge base for your AI setup. Imagine you brought an employee in to do something that you were doing previously, and instead of actually giving them instructions or telling them how to do it or giving them a document they could follow, you were just like, good luck. And you said go, and then they went and they did something a little bit differently to how you would have or how you expect your company to. And then you're like, hey, this person's shit or they're not that good. And it's like, no, you've failed to provide a fair set of instructions. You need to have everything documented so that each step-by-step process happens exactly the same way every single time, no matter who works on it. I'm going to make you look at this a little bit differently, and I'm going to draw something that might share a pretty good piece of context. Let's say we've got a process, and in this process, it involves 6 steps. Let's say we've got step 1, right? Which then leads into 2, which then leads into 3 and 4 and 5, and you guessed it, 6. Let's say in this process right now, if you are the sole operator of your business, you're doing every single one. So you have to do step 1, you have to do step 2, you have to do step 3, step 4, and step 5 and 6. What if there was a way that step 1 was, say, done by a human, but then let's say step 2 was done by AI? And then step 3, also done by AI. Step 4, done by a human. Step 5, done by AI. And then the final step is done by a human. What this actually does is it turns a 6-step process into 3 human steps. Okay, think about that, which technically, if all the steps took the exact same amount of time, technically would mean that you just got half your time back. Okay, this is how you need to start thinking about AI. Everyone has this expectation of if it doesn't do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's not good enough. And it's like, you're looking at it wrong. And by the time it gets to the point where it can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the discrepancy between the people who are using it and the people who are not will be too big for you to catch up. Okay, so you need to start taking these steps now. Imagine you only started walking when you worked out people can run and you're like, all right, let's run. And it's like, no, you're not going to catch up to everyone else if you just start walking then. You need to start walking now. I'm going to link our page below. We also run a free school group where I'll hop on, answer people's questions, show them things they could be doing in their business. The second thing your AI needs is what we call a home to live in. Okay, so I want you to think of like software, stuff that you can actually plug it into. Okay, if you don't have anything that you can plug this device into, if everything lives here, you don't actually have systems and software that you can plug all the AI into, like a CRM system, an email system, a phone system, a project management tracking system, an estimating software, some sort of cloud storage, right? If you don't have all of these set up so that you can plug your AI in so it has full context of everything you're doing, you're going to lose here. You're going to produce super generic work. And then you're going to be like, hey, ChatGPT is not that good. You need to have it. And more importantly, you need to use it properly, right? Your AI will feed from the data in these systems. Meaning if you don't use your CRM system properly and put all your leads in there and track all your notes in there, the AI lacks context, right? I'll give you a real good example of what we do in our business. So we use Claude for most things. Claude is directly connected to many of our tools. If we've had a conversation and we had a Zoom call, right, you would have noticed that myself or anyone on my team always uses Fathom in all our Zoom calls. Fathom is a tool. It's a recording tool. Claude directly connects to Fathom. So then when I say, hey, can you please tell me what we know about so-and-so, I can go and pull not just the notes in the CRM, not just the recording of the call, but combine everything we have across the board. So, hey, we spoke then. This was the last time we spoke. This is what we spoke about. Here's everything you need to know. So it has full context. So if it needs to, draft an email or provide some type of information, it actually understands what's going on and it doesn't have just one perspective. It's got an understanding of every element. It's connected to the Slack channel. So you can see all the communication from the team about that particular client and say, okay, cool. This person said this, that person said that, your call with them said this. I can see the notes in the CRM are here. Now I've got a full picture of what's actually happening. This is where you start to unlock the real power of having, automated systems and AI. It will save you so much time and allow you to produce so much better work, I promise. But it starts with you. It starts with the tools, right? If you don't implement the system, if you don't sign up to the software and use it, right? A CRM system that is not used is the equivalent of a drill that sits in the car all day. Doesn't do anything, right? You need to use the tools. And then the last one is AI in general is data learning machines. Okay. They learn from data. So when you go talk to ChatGPT, I'll explain this in the easiest way I can. When you go talk to ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, these are what they call large language models. They are all trained from an extremely large text or a corpus of text, as they call it. All that is just a bunch of information. So I want you to think like 10,000 books. Okay. They're just like they've read 10,000 books. That's it. That's all their information. That's how they get their knowledge. All that is data. They consume all the data and now it has all this information. And then it learns these skills based on the data and it learns how to do that. So for you to get the most out of this, you need to be able to feed the machine's data. If you go on my Instagram and you scroll back to like my videos from over a year ago, I've been telling people you need to capture everything you're doing. Everything. The data is your processes. The data is the notes you have on the clients. The data is every single call you or your team has done every single time so that it can track the way you speak and what you say to people and what you don't say. And then it can learn and do things the way you do them, right? Data. These are data learning machines. The more you give it, the more you'll get out of it. It's as simple as that. And I mean everything, like your past quotes, everything you've done to date. I would put into it and just feed it every little thing it needs. The more you feed, the more it will learn. The biggest thing you're going to take away from this whole video is that AI is not a magic pill, okay? It's a tool that plugs into the rest of your tools. It's like hiring an employee and making sure that they've got everything they need to be able to deliver. This is the exact same thing. We all think it's a magic pill and it's going to do everything for me. And if I sign up to Claude and pay $29 a month, that I'm never going to have to work a day again in my life. That's just not the case. You need to get these 3 things in place, document all your processes. You need to give it software for it to be able to jump in between and live in. And then you need to feed it all the data from everything you've ever done in your business. And if you're still new to this, even before the rest is built, start recording and saving everything now. I promise you, you will thank me later. This is the fuel that AI runs on. So if you're a builder or trader and you want to know how you can start to implement AI in your business, this is what we do for our clients. I'm going to link our page below. We also run a free school group where I'll hop on, answer people's questions, show them things they could be doing in their business that'll make sure that they stay at the forefront of this. I'll link that below as well. Otherwise, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next video.